This video is brought to you by Gamersubs. Use code MHB at checkout for 10% off your next order. I'm on a quest to platinum every PS3 game that I own. So I put all my PS3 games into a wheel, and one by one we're platinuming whatever the wheel lands on. As always, if you do end up enjoying the content and want to see more like it, like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and let's spin the wheel and see what we're platinuming this week. Alright, I'm back from my holidays, so we get what we get, we don't get upset. Let's spin the wheel, see what we're platinuming this week, with some new additions to the wheel now, so this could get interesting. Let's go! That is chef's kiss. I could not ask for a better game to come back to. I might, have an accident. This is awesome. I am so happy we get Dante's Inferno first up. Also, to celebrate number 10, what the hell? I completely forgot about that. If you're new to the channel, Dante's Inferno may seem like an odd game to get really excited about, but I have a very special place in my heart for this game. I've always considered this to be an underrated experience, simply boiled down to the basic clone argument. So back in 2021, I went back to revisit the game and made an almost 45-minute video on the game, breaking down the history, development, story, and gameplay, and why I think it's so special. Still, to this date, one of my favorite videos. But that's not all. That video was also my very first video to hit 100,000 views.
Let's up those numbers!
And because of that boom, along with some other videos also getting some traction, is a big reason I made the leap to go full-time on YouTube when I did. But I'm still not done, because to remember and celebrate that milestone, I also got a Dante's Inferno inspired tattoo. So yeah, not only do I love this game, but it's also now a very sentimental experience for me and the perfect way to cross over into double digits in this series. We know the game is as good as I remember, but what's the platinum journey like for Dante's Inferno? Let's find out. Oh, and just a heads up, there are DLC trophies here, but one is no longer obtainable thanks to having the servers go offline, and the only one possible to play anymore is the Dark Forest, and it's like 15 minutes long. So since I can't get the 100% anyway, I'm just going for the platinum in this video. Dante's Inferno's platinum is something that can be broken down into two main steps. First, we need to beat the game, and then after that we unlock New Game Plus and the hardest difficulty, Infernal. We need to play a good chunk of New Game Plus in order to grab all the upgrades in the game, and we need Infernal difficulty, not for a difficulty related trophy, but instead for a combo trophy that is made really easy late in the game. However, for this first playthrough, our focus is to grab all the collectibles and any missable trophies along the way. It doesn't matter what difficulty you decide to play on, there's no difficulty related trophies in this platinum, and where some take this opportunity to hate themselves for the sake of content, I'm just gonna play the game on normal. I've got to save the hate myself moments for actual trophies I'm going to have to go after in this PS3 randomizer journey. So with the plan established, I booted the game up and away we went. Dante's Inferno is set in the year 1191 and throws us right into the Siege of Acre, a battle from the Third Crusade. We battle our way through the prisoners of Acre. Slaughter at Acre already, alright, cool. But end up getting a knife to our back from an assassin and come face to face with Death himself, who warns Dante that he's headed straight for hell for committing many sins during his time in the Crusade. Not wanting to lay down without a fight, we battle Death, take his scythe, and ultimately kill Death. Yes, this is one of the most badass openings in a video game. Anyway, Dante heads back to Florence to find his father and his lady love have been murdered. Beatrice's soul appears, but before she can say too much, Lucifer snatches her soul down to hell, and this is where the premise of the game begins. It's time to head down to hell and save Beatrice from everlasting damnation. So we bless the holy cross Beatrice gave to Dante and open up a portal to hell. As we descend upon the gates of hell, we quickly grab another 2 trophies for taking out our 30th minion and getting a 50-hit combo in the process. Hey, nice. Holy Warrior. That's probably for a 50 combo. Oh, never mind, that is. Warming up. Alright, cool. And not too long after that, after battling and controlling a giant beast, we enter the first circle of hell, Limbo. Abandon all hope. Alright, we're into hell now. This is where the game really begins for us, and we need to start hunting down the many collectibles in the game. There's a few things we need to keep an eye out for in our journey through the 9 circles of hell. We need to unlock all of Virgil's commentaries. He's along the main path, just make sure to speak to him until he disappears each time. Find 30 pieces of silver, which are in some of these golden fountains. 31 relics, which are found from defeating bosses, talking to Virgil enough times, or exercising these demonic dog things. 3 Beatrice stones, which reward you with the ability to auto-absolve and skip this minigame, but we don't want to do that anyway because the bonus souls are very handy, and either punish or absolve all 27 damned souls, most of which are on the main path and some of which need to be absolved for specific trophies. Which brings me to the unholy and holy skill trees. We'll need to reach level 7 in both the holy and unholy pathways to unlock all the skills, but we won't be able to do that in a single playthrough. That journey carries over into New Game Plus, but to make it easier, I just decided to absolve all the damned souls just in case some were trophy related, and to level up my unholy side at a much slower rate, mind you, punish any enemies with the finishing combos. That way, once I max out one side, I can solely focus on the other and do it a little bit quicker. Okay, with the collectibles out the way, we found our first relic by talking to Virgil. Relic Hunter. We're getting a lot of trophies and quick. And after boarding Karen's ship, we sail across to the judge of the underworld, King Minos, ripping off Karen's head for taunting and making sure we push it into the abyss. See you, mate. Get out of here. Burning Eyes. Get out of here, Karen. We also found our first of 3 Beatrice stones here. Oh, precious. Alright, that's for the Beatrice stone. We are rolling these. And took out 20 of the baby enemies before our meeting with King Minos. Bad Nanny. Alright, that's for the 20 unbaptized babies, which... pretty grim. King Minos is responsible for sending all the souls in limbo to their rightful circle of hell, but of course we're not looking to be judged. We're looking for Beatrice, and anything in our way is getting taken out. So one dodging, weaving, and waiting for the boss to let his guard down fight later, King Minos is taken care of, and it was on to our next circle of hell, Lust. Sentence the judge. Now, Dante's Inferno isn't the most YouTube-friendly game I could cover. Lots of boobs, butts, and cocks, so have fun editing this, Aiden, but Lust is a rough one for YouTube, no doubt. I mean, you've got a giant Cleopatra with tongue nipples chasing you for most of it. Thankfully, trophy-wise, not a whole lot happened here anyway, aside from absolving Francesca and Paolo, 2 damned souls of secret lovers. Forbidden Love. Alright, I think that might be the only 2 you have to absolve. And defeating Cleopatra's lover, Mark Antony, who can pack a serious smack for this stage of the game. Lovers torn asunder. But story-wise, this is where we learn that Dante was a naughty boy on the crusade and slept with another woman in exchange for her and her brother's freedom. This broke his vow to Beatrice, who for some reason bet her soul on Dante being a good boy while he was away. What exactly did she stand to gain from this bet? Who the hell knows, but now she's in big trouble and Lucifer loves taunting us with his new prize. Anyway, with our time with Lust coming to an end, we head back down the elevator where I killed my 20th enemy with magic abilities. Superstition. Might be for getting some magic kills, I don't know. Only for the elevator to get destroyed and plunge straight into our next circle of hell, Gluttony. It doesn't take long for us to face the boss of this realm, Cerberus. Definitely unlike any dog I've seen, but with the Divine Protection spell, this fight is pretty easy. The hard part is just getting to these pus-like fireballs on the ground without being interrupted. The Great Worm, alright. So that's for getting rid of Cerberus. As we explored the beautifully grotesque world of Gluttony, we found our 10th piece of silver. Not really sure what the point of these are, but hey, they drop a lot of souls when you complete a set of 5, and that's good enough for me. Footsteps of a traitor. Alright, we're a third of the way done with these. We stumble across this mind-bending maze where Lucifer lets us in on how our father and Beatrice were taken out. Turns out that girl we slept with to save herself and her brother, well, that was actually her husband, the man who tried to assassinate us in Acre, and after he was done with us, went on down to Florence to take out the rest. So yeah, we cucked him and he was not a fan. Back to the maze though, and this is a great sequence capped off with a trophy because this is where I found our third Beatrice stone. That won't really be useful in the slightest, but I'll take a trophy. Power of the Cross. So that lets us auto-absolve, but there's also no point in doing that because, well, there's no point right now because we need the extra holy XP. Because the boss for Gluttony was at the start, we sort of just progressed through the rest of Gluttony, finding goodies and taking out demons until we reach the next circle, Greed. Again, not a whole heap to talk about in Greed outside of defeating our 30th demon, Demon Slayer. I'm assuming it's for those guard guys. And taking on our father, who is just an absolute pushover. The real threat is making sure you're not on the edge of the arena, as they do fall into the liquid gold without warning. Like father, like son. Yeah, that should be Greed done with. Then it was on to the 5th circle, Anger. No boss fight here, but we did get a good stack of trophies for using my 20th health fountain. Give me strength. That's gotta be something to do with the fountains. I feel like I remember that one. Finding my 20th silver coin and collecting a total of 60,000 souls respectively. Hey, 20 pieces of silver. Betrayed with a kiss. Okay. So that's 2/3 of the way done. Oh, and Soul Reaper. That I don't know what that is. And using my 20th mana fountain. Sorcerer's Apprentice. That's, I'm assuming, for the magic fountains. Before Lucifer comes back into the fray to taunt us some more, corrupting Beatrice once and for all, turning her into a succubus, and giving us a taste of the cuck treatment before disappearing further into hell. We're not built for the sad hotel chair though, so we end up taking the giant creature Phlegus for a ride and entering the city of Dis. Gates of Dis. Probably one of the coolest set pieces in this game. After romping and stomping our way through the city, we fall into the 6th circle of hell, Heresy, where again, we don't have any bosses to speak of, but thanks to a new enemy type, we do defeat 5 heretics. Confessional. I'm assuming they heretics or something? Before escaping Heresy and into the 7th circle, Violence. The Harrowing. Alright, that's for escaping Heresy. This is where some of the collectibles started to finish up, finding the last of all the unholy and holy relics. Dark relics. Oh, we got all the unholy relics done. Oh, light relics. I thought it said I have one more. What the hell? Okay. Absolving the spirit of an old friend of Dante's. Old friend. Alright, I think that's all of the damn souls that we have to absolve. And finding all 30 pieces of silver. Well done, Judas. Alright, that's a collectible series done. And ultimately face off against a friend of ours, fellow crusader and brother of Beatrice, Francesco. Basically, Dante decided to kill all the prisoners of Acre against the wishes of the king, but instead of taking the fall, Francesco did instead, and was ultimately executed for doing so. So he's not too happy to see us, and as a fight, he's no punk either. I mean, he doesn't let me spam my cross attack. What's that about? Brotherhood. Alright, down to Fraud? With Francesco absolved and our time in Violence complete, it was on to probably the weakest circle in terms of gameplay, Fraud. This essentially is a challenge mode they snuck into the actual game, but thankfully the challenges are pretty easy, especially the first one. Infinite mana? How the hell's that a challenge? If you are struggling with the Keep in the Air challenge, the easy solution is just wail on the demon enemies until you can perform an execution, but instead of completing it, just press circle fast enough to stay on. Yes, this counts. We just got the one trophy here in Fraud for defeating our 5th glutton. There we go, indigestion. And with the trials complete, we face Beatrice once again. Dante has accepted his rightful place in hell, but just wants Beatrice to be free. This ends up snapping Beatrice out of her demonic state. The angel Gabriel grabs her soul and promises Dante that his redemption is closer than he thinks in the 9th and final circle, treachery. Yeah, bittersweet. Alright, we saved Beatrice. Now it's time to take on Lucy. This is a very short circle, but we do manage to grab the final 2 collectible trophies for unlocking all of Virgil's dialogue. The guide. Alright, we're done with the Virgil commentaries. And absolving or punishing the final damned soul. The damned. Alright, that is all the collectibles done. Now, all that was left was to face off against Lucifer, a fight that, again, can be tricky. His first stage is just about getting the jump timing down. The second phase is a genuine one-on-one versus the devil and his big old horse hog. That, FYI, is super distracting, and finally ends in a grapple match. Lucifer's match. Alright, that's our first playthrough done. Lucifer reveals his plans of conquering heaven, revealing Dante died back in Acre, meaning he's stuck in hell forever, and basically, despite winning the fight, it is very doom and gloom. Until Lucifer is imprisoned, once again thanks to the help of all the absolved souls we gathered across our journey, left to rot here as Dante emerges from hell and into purgatory, with the saddest to be continued in gaming.
I did not die. And I did not live.
So that was our first playthrough done and dusted. Now it was time for New Game Plus, which again you can play on whatever difficulty you want, with the main goal of hitting level 7 in both Holy and Unholy, as well as buying all the skills in each side of the tree. We were pretty close to completing the Holy path after the first playthrough, not even getting to King Minos before hitting level 7 and buying all the upgrades. Alright, that's max Holy. The light in the dark. Alright, now I can just focus on the unholy. Holy man. Alright, now all we have to worry about is the unholy side. I also needed to grab a few more counterattack kills to hit 20. You can farm these pretty easily. I use the basic enemies, but if deflecting attacks is more your speed, these bats infinitely spawn at the start. There we go, countermeasures. Alright, that's I think that's the last combat specific trophy I needed. This playthrough is essentially a speedrun though, and without the collectibles and the holy path completed, all I was really doing was going after the souls of the damned to punish them, or make sure I was punishing enemies with finishes to try and get my unholy rank up ASAP. Because of this, and basically being a decked out god at this point, it only took me an hour and a half to get through the 5th circle and hit level 7 unholy, as well as buying all the upgrades. Death's Apprentice. Okay, so I'm max rank on unholy now. There we go, Man of Evil. So that's the upgrades. We just got it. We're about to leave Anger. So I'd be very curious if you could load back into a save on the first playthrough and change the difficulty to Inferno or Infernal, whatever it is, because we've got a lot of game to play and we don't have anything else to do until we get back to the trials. But this is not where New Game Plus would end, as we needed to get 2 more trophies before ending the second playthrough. We needed a 200 and a 666 hit combo. Really, the only place you can get a 666 hit combo, or at least the easiest place, is the first trial in Fraud, the one with infinite mana, but it's only possible on the hardest difficulty, Infernal, because the enemies have way more health. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you couldn't just keep a save from the first playthrough before this trial, load into it after the game ends, and have Infernal difficulty unlocked, but that save was long gone for me. If it works, works, you save yourself some time, and this could have ended at the 5th circle. But again, I didn't have the save anymore, so back I went to the 8th circle, and yeah, the 666 combo here is a cinch. Just spam Sins of the Father over and over again, and you don't even have to think about it. There we got Masterpiece for 200. Poetry in Motion. Alright, that's both the combos done, and that's the second playthrough done. That's all we needed to do. All that left us with was one more trophy. We needed to defeat all the waves in the Gates of Hell arena. There's 50 waves, and again, you can play on whatever difficulty you choose, as well as bring over your completely maxed out Dante, so this is more time consuming than interesting. I mean, hell, some of these waves have like 3 enemies to fight before moving on to the next. It's a bit of a nothing mode, but half an hour later, we completed wave 50, unlocking the trophy, along with the platinum, and our time with Dante's Inferno was done. Gates of Hell, Master of the Inferno, and that is Dante's Inferno Platinumed. This was so much, I had so much fun revisiting this again. As I said in the intro, I'm sure of this video, like, I love this game. I have a really personal connection with this game now, and the Platinum it's probably the best. If you have never played a hack and slasher and you're a trophy hunter and you want to try and get into the genre, Dante's Inferno is gotta be the easiest one you could do. So, would I recommend you play and platinum Dante's Inferno? Yeah, this one is a no-brainer for me. Absolutely I do. Again, this was always going to be a fun platinum for me to grab. I think this game is massively underrated, and every time I revisit it, I just have such a good time with it. This was a platinum experience where I mostly just got to enjoy the game again. Yeah, I had to keep an eye out for collectibles along the way, and I'm not the biggest fan of New Game Plus modes, but I just love being in this world, descending into hell, facing Dante's sins and misdeeds, hacking and slashing through demons with Death's Scythe and a holy projectable cross. It's awesome. Really, I'm just a sucker for heaven and hell storylines though. If you're a fan of the hack and slash genre, or you like yourself a fun but simple platinum experience, Dante's Inferno has to be on your to-do list, and make it snappy. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, make sure to leave a comment with "to be continued" as a sign of respect, and let me know that you made it to the end. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below and let me know which PS3 games you hope the wheel lands on next, or any games to potentially add to the wheel. Shout out to the channel members for that extra level of support, and special thanks to members of the Bear Club: G&T Papi, Scott Unwin, A It's Grey J, Dark Wolf, Zafado, Lug Knights, Golden Sparrow, Lord Alex, Kuzma, Jarvis McGee, 1 to Hit, Steel Vanguard, and Briganius. Thank you all, and I'll catch you in the next one.